Houston, the tunnel looks pretty clear to us. Somebody going up there now. Over.
All right, Mike. Checking his connectors up there now.
All right. Houston, the lighting up in there looks very good to us at this time. Over.
I think that's mostly the camera. It's subdued, to say the least.
Roger. It's gathering pretty well to us. We see everything quite clearly up in there.
No, the dock latches look good today, just like they did yesterday. Everything up in there looks just fine.
That sounds fine to us. Over. Houston, we can even read the decals up there on the limb hatch.
Well, let me zoom it up and see how much you can read.
Okay. We can see the limb umbilical connection quite well there, Buzz. You see you zooming in on one of the decals now that to reset, unlatch handle, latch behind grip and pull back 2 full strokes. That's about all we can make out.
You get an A+.
Thank you very much, sir. At least I passed my eye test.
I'm standing 6 feet from it, Charlie. You can read it better than I can. There's something wrong with the system.
Roger. A real good view of the limb hatch handle there. 11, over.
Roger. Looks like we'll be ready to go into the limb early, if that's okay with y'all down there.
Roger, it's fine with us, Neil. Go ahead anytime you wish, over. 11 Houston, the white spot you see on your monitor, our TV people say it is a burn spot, but they expect it to dissipate after a couple hours, over.
Roger, thank you. Okay, the dump valve is actuated.
Roger, copy, 11. We see that very clearly. Is that U-bus with your hand on it?
Yeah.
Houston, we're really amazed at the quality of the picture up in the tunnel. It's really superb, over.
It is, considering the amount of light up in there. Roger, we're about to open the hatch now.
Right.
There's that same guy that when you open up the doorway, he's waiting there for you and he turns the lights on.
How about that? It's like the refrigerator. Buzz the view in through by your left shoulder there is good. We can see the acid engine cover, the Velcro on it, and that's about all we can make out right now. We see the helmet stowage.
We don't see anything loose up there.
Well, great. Looks good to us. We see your helmet stowage bag. And 11 Houston, we got a view of the Pliss there off the right of our screen. Houston, bus, you already in? Over.
Right, I'm halfway in. I'm gonna start turning around, I guess.
Right. Bravo 11, Houston, we'd like you to read out the LCG reservoir site level, over.
Okay, stand by.
At 11, we have a good view of the window there. It looks like the sun's apparently coming through the shade.
Yeah, I'm afraid we're just about plus Z toward the sun.
That's affirmative. This attitude puts both windows right towards the sun for the limb, over.
Well, that may be good in some respects.
We had a view, Buzz, of the utility light cord. Sure you've,
Now, let me show you a view looking the other way.
Rod. And we see right now a utility light or either a floodlight up there. I think now I see the utility light still in the storage bag. Hey, that's a great shot right there. We see you in there. Guess that's Neil and Mike. Better be, anyway. We see you waving. Houston, that's really a beautiful shot. Houston, we didn't quite decipher that signal. It just came from the CMP.
Just very low. On the LCG sight gauge, you got about, it looks like the white mark that's in the plunger is about quarter to 3/8 inch out into the green away from the red. Is that what you'd like to say, or?
Stand by. Right, Buzz, that looks good. Thank you much.
It is the white index, is it not, that you're interested in comparing whether it's in the red or green?
Stand by. That's affirmative, Buzz. It looks good. That's a good reading for us, over.
Okay.
We had a shot a moment ago of the suit disconnect valve.
I'll open up the windows and see what the lighting condition is going to be like.
Houston, that's a real good view. We have the AOT. You're back now, Buzz, and notice you're taking down one of the window shades, over. The light is superb.
Yeah, how's the sun coming in? How's the sun coming in this direction going to affect what you can see?
It made it really super. The lighting is excellent in the limb right now. We can make out the AOT, the ISA, and the left-hand window is a little glare off of that, but the LMP side, with the shade down, it's really excellent, over.
Well, I'm turned around. I took the shade off my side first.
Roger, we copy. The light level for the TV is really excellent, over.
Yeah, the lighting in the lab is very nice, just like completely daylit and everything is just a good bit lighter than the tunnel was earlier.
Roger, we got a good view now, Neil, of the DETA and also Buzz's ACA.
Hey, I'm pointed at the front hatch now. Everything seems to be in place down there.
Roger, we got the dump valves in view, over. 11, Houston, we see you removing the ISA now, pulling it up, putting it up by the AOT. The instrument panels are coming into view behind.
Yeah, I think probably the we've got necessary effort to put it back over the instrument panel instead of putting it up over the splits in the recharge station. Would you care to comment on that one? We can do either just as easily.
Stand by. We'll have an answer for you momentarily. 11, Houston, it's really a super shot of the main display.
The vehicle is surprisingly free of any debris floating around. It's very clean.
Roger. Houston, it's pretty hard to describe this view. It's really, really great.
Now you know how we feel. Okay, Neil's OPS is about 5,800.
Copy.
And mine's about 5,800 also.
Copy. Houston, that's a good shot of Neil's cliff there. Over.
No, that's fine.
Houston, that moment ago, we had a good shot of your bliss bus and the two helmet storage bags, and now behind your left shoulder bus, we have the Disky and the ACA.
We're going to go ahead and take all the loose data on back into the command module, Charlie.
Roger. Apollo 11, Houston, Buzz, it appears that you attempting to put on the sun filter and viewing the sun through the AOT, over.
Yeah, unfortunately, it looks like it's down a little bit more towards plus than I can be able to see in AOT.
Roger.
We got a beautiful view of the side of the command module out of the AOT, looking in the left rear detent.
Right.
I can see the hatch and all the EVA handrails. First time we've seen the silvery outside of the command module. I can read the letters on the hatch cover that say boost cover release, and the big yellow arrow that points toward the opening place where the tool B goes.
Right. Great shot now, back down into the...
And left on me.
Go ahead, Buzz, over.
Say again.
I'm just saying we got a great shot looking back into the command module.
Okay. Yeah, on the left detent I can see the the rendezvous radar, and when I move to the forward detent, that's about all I've got. I'm looking eyeball to eyeball.
Right.
Charlie, is there any concern about the duration that we ought to have the window shades open?
Stand by.
We don't have any circulation in here, and might get a little on the warm side.
Right.
We'll put up a couple of hoses in the command modules here and get a little circulation going.
Sound like a good idea, over. Apollo 11, Houston, as far as the window shades go and the limb is nothing except for crew comfort. I don't think we got any systems problems. Be sure to put them back up when you egress, over.
We will do. Charlie, I'll give you a view out of the overhead window back looking at the command module right-hand rendezvous window.
Roger. Well, we see it now. Thanks a lot, Buzz. It's a good view through the overhead.
One washer on... One washer going by the overhead.
Right. There we go. We got it now.
There wasn't very much debris in the command module or the limb. We found very few loose particles of bolts, nuts, and screws, and lint things. Very few in each spacecraft. They were very clean.
Roger. Sounds good. Houston, we have a good view out of the rendezvous, correction, the overhead window of the limb. We don't see anybody staring back at us, though, over.
Charlie, can you see my two eyeballs peering out of the rendezvous window?
11, Houston, stand by. We haven't picked him up yet.
You're looking through a lot of layers of glass.
11, Houston. We had a slight glimpse of Mike in the rendezvous window at that time. It's pretty murky looking into there, though.
Okay, here he is. I've got him on the monitor now. Right.
Okay, we see him staring back at us now. Hello in there. Apollo 11, Houston, our recommendation for the ISA is to stow it back over the instrument panel, over.
Roger, will do.
Houston, we can make out the markings on the panel. We've read System A, S in fuel, S in oxidizer, Quad 1, Quad 4. It's really unbelievable the definition we're getting down here off that little camera, over. We can even see the barber pole on the talkback. We can read the markings on the instruments for the glycol pressure quantity, PCO2. You can read the scale on the 8-ball, over. Houston, we see the crossfeed barber pole, and we had the Velcro patches back up to the RCS systems now. We can see the markings on the meters, green and red bands, in limit. We see you raise the cover on the abort stage. We don't recommend that.
Yeah, we're going to tape that one over.
Right.
We're going to tape that one over.
We concur.
The restraints in here do a pretty good job of pulling my pants down.
Roger. We haven't quite got that before the 50 million TV audience yet. Al 11, Houston, that's a good view of the 8-ball. We see you can even read the off flag there. See the signal strength meter for the radar, read the numbers on it.
Houston, did you want us to test the cameras in the LEM? And I was wondering about that. I saw it in the flight plan, but I'm just wondering if you want to do that on CSM power, or do you want us to take both of the 16-millimeter cameras back into CSM and test them there, over?
Stand by, Bud.
As an alternative to that, why we could wait until LOI day and There's that word again, ancillary stowage container.
Roger. The gauge didn't quite hack it there, Buzz, over.
Houston 11, are you still getting high bit rate off the Omnis at this distance?
Stand by, Mike. Apollo 11, Houston, about 50% of the time we're getting high bit rate off the Omnis when you're in PTC, over.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome. Apollo 11, Houston. Neil, at this attitude, you look like you're about 12 feet long.
Seems like I always find myself upside down in whatever I'm doing around here.
Apollo 11, Houston, could you give us a few comments on your crew comfort with the CSM hoses moving the air around, over?
Well, it's picking up a little bit of circulation in here.
What do you estimate the temperature is, Buzz, over?
Oh, I'd say maybe 73, 75.
It's hard to tell at this density and pressure of gas, but comfort level is about the same as the command module. It's a little warmer or stuffier when we first got in, but it seems to be improving.
Houston copies out. 11, Houston.
may be able to see some
Go ahead.
some particles jumping around on your screen. That's just dust particles that are being eliminated by sun shafting in the window.
Roger, they're very clear now, over. And that's a good view of Neil's correction of Buzz's circuit breaker panel there.
I can just barely see the handrail on the front porch from the position on the right-hand window.
Roger. Houston, our view of the panel 11 is gets brighter than darker. Are you changing the f-stop at all, over?
Now what's happening is we get pretty close to the window now and then, and it drives the automatic light control into the stops, I think.
I think that's right.
Right. Yeah, I had to switch on outside while I was going through the overhead window. That may be what's contributing to some of it.
Roger. Houston, we seem to be picking up a few bit more dust particles now. We see them quite clearly in the screen now, over.
Yeah, I'm choking on one every so often.
Houston, your show is going out to the U.S. now. We're about to get the satellite up, and it'll be transmitted to some other countries after that, over.
Roger. I'm checking out this window bracket where I'll be putting it for the EVA pictures of Neil going down the ladder.
Roger. Call 11, Houston, we keep marveling about the color and the clarity of the picture. It's really difficult to describe. It's just perfect, over. Now 11, doesn't look like you're having too much trouble with that bracket up there, Buzz.
I tell you, those new knobs really make it easy to twist the thing and get it cinched down quite tight.
Right. 11, Houston, Buzz, how does the alignment look there?
Looks pretty good as well as I can tell. Without the gear extended, I can't get a real definitive answer, but you couldn't fix it to any place to see much more into the window without hand holding it for the whole time.
Roger, it looks like to us it's going to work real well.
Enough room to, yeah, I think so.
And Buzz, we see you putting your window guard in place there, and back up to the ISA now. Houston, ask FAO if the 90-degree bracket isn't stowed in the commander's stowage assembly. Stand by.
Huh?
11, Houston, Buzz, you still looking for that 90-degree bracket, over?
Yeah, he is looking for it now.
Roger, we'll have a word for you in just a moment.
My monitor shows a pretty good, clear picture from this angle. Now we found the 90-degree bracket.
Roger, Neil. It's really a super picture. We got the ACA, your ACA, the good picture of the throttle, the 90-degree bracket. We see the start, your handles, and now over to the bracket.
That's about the position we'll be putting the camera in after the initial descent down the ladder. And it'll be taking 1 frame a second for most of the EVA.
Houston copies out. That's a real good view of that camera.
Our monitor is a little bit wavy, so it's hard for us to tell when we've got a steady picture for you.
11, we have no complaints at all. We don't see that waviness on our picture. It's just really great, over.
Do the edges of the window look like straight lines to you?
That's affirmative.
Okay, they don't in our monitor, and that leads us to make some corrections to the camera, which probably aren't required sometimes.
11, we have no complaints at all. It's a magnificent picture. What was that, Buzz, you're chasing down?
That was me picking up some particles of paint that were floating through the air in front of the camera there.
Right, Neil, we got it. Appears to us that Neil's about to check the Velcro map there. Okay, Buzz, we see the card up now.
Okay, for those of you that don't know, this is where we log most of our data for each of the LEM maneuvers. And we have another card like this. It's the timeline book that we place down on the table in front of the data display keyboard. And it's on this timeline that we have all our procedures. So we obviously have to hold these in place in 0G. So we make use of the Velcro patches on the back and on the table. So we can attach these down here. And then we just turn the pages over when we go to new sequences in our timeline of procedures.
Roger.
And we're ready to copy DOI pad.
Right, we'll have the photos work that one up for you momentarily. 11, Houston, that was a good shot of panel 2. Now we got panel 3 in view with the temp monitor switch. The stabilization and control panel we see now with the mode control switches. Now over to the rendezvous radar. Real good. 11, that's real good camera work.
Probably the most unusual position a cameraman's ever had, hanging by his toes from a tunnel and taking a picture upside down.
Roger, well, you're doing a super job. We got a good view of the cross pointer there. Had a good view of the tape meter.
We're giving you a picture now of the floor of the cabin. I think you can see the one of the two portable life support systems backpacks here in the center. And on each side, we have the two helmet visors. I'll remove one of them and show you a little closer view of what this looks like.
Roger.
Inside the helmet visors are the EVA gloves with the blue tips. I'll not take those out now.
Roger, boys, that's a great shot now that we're getting of the helmet, the EVA visor, and also the EVA gloves in the background.
Okay, you did say this was going out now, didn't you?
Stand by, I think so. You got a pretty big audience. It's live in the U.S. It's going live to Japan, Western Europe, and much of South America. Everybody reports very good color. Appreciate the great show.
Roger, understand. Thank you.
Well, that was a good demonstration of your EVA visor assembly. Appreciate it. Al, that's a good view of Mr. Collins down there. We finally see him again.
Hello there, Earthling.
Hello there. 11 Houston, we noticed when you were scanning over panel 2 a moment ago, 1 and 2, the 2 8 balls were slightly in disagreement. Control said he'd like to ag the line there.
Yeah, one of them died, one of them sang. The problem is we don't know whether the line eggs the pace or things egg.
Stand by. Uh, 11, Chris said he can tell you.
What gauge are both?
Right.
Tycho home week, Charlie, to get back in the line again.
Right. I can imagine.
The traverse from the bottom of the limb, the half bulkhead of the command module must be about 16, 20 feet. It's not a disorienting one at all, but it's most interesting to contemplate just pushing off from one and bounding on into the other vehicle all the way through the tunnel.
Raj, must be some experience. Is Collins going to go in and look around?
We're willing to let him go, but he hasn't come up with the price of the ticket yet.
Right. I'd advise him to keep his hands off the switches.
If I can get him to keep your hands off my disc, it'll be a fair swap.
Roger.
That's why I've been eating so much today. I haven't had anything to do. He won't let me touch it anymore.
Right. Houston, if that's not the Earth, we're in trouble.
That's the Earth, and we have a very good view of it today. There are a few more cloud bands on than yesterday when we beamed down to you, but it's a beautiful sight. We have some horizontal banding in our TV monitor. Are we transmitting that to you, or do you have a clear picture?
Neil, we have a very clear picture. The only thing that we see is a little white dot at the bottom of our screen, which is our TV guys say is an apparently a burned out spot in the camera, but it should come back. Over.
Roger. We have that in our monitor also.
11, Houston, we do have 3 lines across our TV. I thought it was just a transmission problem, but everybody's telling me now that it probably is on the downlink. Over.
Now, those are the same 3 ones that we have.
Okay.
How far out are we now, Charlie?
Stand by, I'll give you an exact figure.
If you notice the difference between yesterday and today, this is as large an image as we can give you.
Roger, it's distinctly smaller. You're now 177,000 miles out. Over.
Anything?
That's nautical miles.
That's affirmative. 11 weeks. Go ahead, over. Houston, we see still see the banding along the intertropical convergence. I guess the most predominant one now is around the equator, or slightly north of the equator.
Yeah, that's the way it looks, Charlie. Same as yesterday.
Right.
Keep the Pacific Ocean nice, clear, and calm on Flag Day. That's all we had.
And Charlie, I'd like to say hello to all my fellow scouts and scatters at Farragut State Park in Idaho. They're having a national jamboree there this week, and Apollo 11 like to send them best wishes.
Thank you, Apollo 11. I'm sure that if they didn't hear that, they will get the word through the news. Certainly appreciate that.
Huh?
Houston, we have you, your sub-spacecraft point is just off the western coast of South America, directly south of about Mexico City, over.
That looks like what we observed from here. And we're going to turn our TV monitor off now for a short bit while we have some other work to do. Apollo 11, this is Houston, over.
Houston, Apollo 11, are you picking up our signal? Okay.
Apollo 11, this is Houston, affirmative. We're reading you loud and clear on voice, and we have a good, clear TV picture, a little bright crater in the bottom of the picture. I guess that's the spot on the tube.
I'm sorry about that one.
And if you could give us poo and accept, we'll uplink a new state vector and target load to you.
Okay. Houston, Apollo 11. One of the larger craters on the back side, I noticed a small dark speck on the outer wall. With a binocular on it, I was able to see an area maybe a quarter of a mile in diameter. A really fresh-looking, dark-colored pit. That seems to be in contrast with all the other fresh little craters or holes that you can perceive on the walls of any of these craters. Around this particular one, there seems to be 2 or 3 of these, especially the one that caught my attention. Quite remarkable.
Roger, do you have a location on that one?
No, not a precise one. I've got several pictures.
Roger, we copy. We're getting a beautiful picture in down here now, 11. The color's coming in quite clearly, and we can see the horizon and the relative blackness of space. And without getting into the question of grays and browns, it looks, at least on our monitor, sort of a brownish gray.
That's a good way of describing it. It appears to me as though it made a difference just sitting back in the tunnel and gazing at all windows. It makes a difference which one you're looking out of. For example, the camera right now is looking out the number 5 window, and it definitely gives a rosier or tanner tinge, especially when you look straight through it and not at an angle.
Roger.
GNC flight.
Yeah, we're about 95 or 100 degrees east, coming up on my sea.
Still holding? Okay.
Say again, 11.
I say again, we're about 95 degrees east, coming up on my sea.
Roger, and for your information, we show you at an altitude of about 92 miles above the surface right now.
Okay. Houston, Apollo 11. Did you observe a difference in the N2 pressures before LOI? It seems to me as though the two were not equal.
Stand by.
Fallen B tank was a lower pressure over.
Yeah, I think that's right.
I'm flying it in FCS minimum impulse, Houston, and it's rather difficult to keep it on a constant theta. The LEM wants to wander up and down. I'm not sure in response to mass cons or what, but I can get it completely stabilized in theta and let it alone, and in another couple of minutes it will have developed its own rate.
This is Houston, Roger.
Houston, we'll be moving shortly from the side window to the hatch window, and we'll try and pick up some of the landmarks that we'll be looking at as we approach power descent. Over.
11, this is Houston, Roger, and we're through with the uplink. Computer is yours. You can go to block, and we'll have the information on nitrogen for you shortly. Over.
Roger, copy. Okay, Houston, several minutes ago I was exactly steady on theta, and since then I have been moving toward the LEM pointed straight down towards the radius vector, and that's been despite a number of down minimum pitch impulses.
Roger.
We're over Spice B right now.
Roger.
We're about 88 degrees east, I would estimate.
We show you about south of the southwest of the crater Jansky right now.
My C doesn't look very much like a C. The area which is devoid of craters, of which there's not very much, is sort of a hilly-looking area. It's not like a mare at all.
Roger, we copy that about the sea, and it looks like you were just giving us a view of the crater Dnieper, the large crater on the left, and Jansky on the right.
We think you're close, but no cigar.
Uh, 11, this is Houston. Would you care to comment on some of these craters as we go by?
Roger, we're approaching the approach path to ignition. This is equivalent to 13 minutes before ignition, and we're at about 80 degrees east, I guess, 83 degrees east. Would that correspond to location you're holding in present time?
Roger, we're showing your present position is about 77, 76 degrees east, looking back towards the east.
Hey, you should be looking back at Smythe C now.
Roger.
Okay,
All right, Houston, what you're seeing in the middle of the screen now is the crater Schubert. And Gilbert U is in the center right now. And this comes up at about a little over 12 minutes before power descent. Instead of looking back at it, we'd be looking straight down at it at that time.
Roger. And we show you an altitude now of about 110 miles. And of course, you'd be considerably lower at the initiation of power descent.
Okay, Houston, look at register 3 on the Disky theta. Theta is increasing toward my desired of 315, and I'll let the hand controller alone here, and I'll bet you it reverses itself.
Roger 11, we're watching the Disky now, and still coming in beautifully on the TV.
Okay, there's the right side of the screen at the present time, there's a triple crater with a small crater between the first and second, and the one at the bottom of the screen is Schubert Y. Zoom in, it does have a central peak in Schubert Y, actually several of them, and you can observe those, plus the rim craters at the bottom of your screen.
Roger, we're seeing the central peak quite clearly now.
Okay, we're zooming in now on a crater called Schubert N. Schubert N, very conical inside wall, and the bottom appears to be nearly flat.
Look at data on the Disky. It's stabilized and is holding steady now.
Roger.
Looking out the window, I can see a number of small craters on the bottom of Schubert N.
We're coming up on the foaming sea where I'll be doing some P-22 marking on a crater of my choice, name of Crater Camp.
Okay, we'll be watching for camp.
And notice Register 3 has reversed itself and is heading back the other way now without any pitch thruster firing.
Roger, Mike. We confirm that you've changed the direction of your pitch rate.
Generally speaking, the tendency seems to be to pull the LEM down toward the center of the moon as in a gravity gradient experiment.
Roger 11, we copy.
Well, it may have something to do with mass cons, or it may...
Roger, we've gotten...
it may have something to do with mass cons, or it may just be the peculiarity of the Disky display.
Okay, we've observed the behavior of your Disky. I think we've got the data here to work on it. Let us grind around a little while on it, and we'll report back to you probably in a rev or two.
Okay, well, in the meantime, I'm going to pitch down toward 315.
Roger.
Three horizontal craters that you now have in the field of view are immediately underneath the ground track. The right hand and the largest crater that you see is Dubiago P.
Roger, we concur on the identification of that crater. And we show you coming up on landmark Alpha 1 here shortly.
Roger, Mike's having his first look at Alpha 1 at the present time.
Yeah, there's a great bright crater. It's not a large one, but an extremely bright one. It looks like a very recent, and I would guess, impact crater with rays streaming out in all directions, which should make the foaming sea easy to see coming up on it. Now, Crater Camp is one of the smaller ones out on the floor of the foaming sea.
Okay, we show you over the Sea of Fertility now, and you ought to have Langrenus down south of Trek a few degrees, about 9 degrees south of Trek.
Yeah, the crater that's in the center of the screen now is Webb. We'd be looking straight down on it at about 6 minutes before power descent. It has a relatively flat bottom to the crater, and you can see maybe 2 or 3 craters that are in the bottom of it. On the western wall, the wall that's now nearest to the camera, or near the bottom of the screen, we can see a dimpled crater just on the outside. And then coming back toward the bottom of the screen and to the left, you can see a series of depressions. It's the type of connected craters that give us most interest to discover why they're in the particular patterns that they're in. I'll zoom the camera in and try and give you a little closer look at this.
Roger, we're observing the dimpled crater now. The central peak that we can see on the orbiter photos doesn't seem to stand out very well here.
Well, they're not central peaks, they're depressions in the center.
Roger.
And you'll notice on the pitch thruster activity, I put in a dozen minimum impulses and pitched down, and I'm still far from correcting back to 315. We're moving the camera over to the right window now to give you Langrenus with its several central peaks. And
Roger, we got Langrenus in our screen now. Okay, 11, this is Houston. We're getting a beautiful picture of Langrenus now with its rather conspicuous central peak.
Sea of Fertility doesn't look very fertile to me. I don't know who named it. Well, it may have been named by a gentleman whom this crater was named after, Langrenus. Langrenus was a cartographer to the King of Spain, and made one of the early reasonably accurate maps of the moon.
Roger, that's very interesting.
I'll have to admit it sounds better for our purposes than the Sea of Crises.
Amen to that. Okay, it looks like you're coming inside now on the camera.
Well, I can't get behind to see the monitor. I'll bring the focus in, but we're going to be looking down past one of the LEM quads, and one of the antennas almost straight down at the ground track that we'll be seeing coming in. Now, I guess this is maybe 2 or 3 minutes before power descent. All right, that should put the LEM structure about in focus. I'm going to move it out to infinity and then expand the field of view. Crater Secchi is out my window now, window number 2.
Apollo 11, this is Houston. We show you coming up on the Terminator at 78:53, about 7 minutes from now. And we've also got the LOI-2 and TEI-5 pads ready for you after the TV, whenever you want to terminate over.
Roger.
And and we're getting a good view of the track leading into the landing site now. Okay, it looks like we got Seki K go by about 10 seconds ago, coming up on Apollo Ridge. And in the right-hand portion of our screen right now, we can see Messier, Alpha, and Bravo with the light-colored rays streaming off in one direction.
I don't know if you can make out, but in the Sea of Fertility, there are a number of craters that are just barely discernible. Old craters whose outlines are just barely able to be seen.
Roger, I think we can make them out. The color really enhances our ability to discern features and craters over what we see in real time on our black and white monitor.
Right. At these low sun angles, there's no trace of brown. It's now returned to a very gray appearance, and like the aid crew says, it has a look of plaster of Paris to it at this sun angle, which is completely lacking at higher sun angles.
Roger.
Okay, this is very close to ignition point for power descent. Just passing Mount Maryland. That's a triangular-shaped mountain that you see in the center of the screen at the present time, with the crater Seki Theta on top of the far northern edge of the mountain.
Roger, we're getting a good view of Mount Maryland and of Seki Theta. Roger, we're getting a good view of Mount Maryland and of Seki Theta.
And now we're looking at what we call Boot Hill. Occurs 20 seconds into the descent. The bright, sharp-rimmed crater at the very right edge of the screen, Censorinus T. Now passing the 1 minute point in power descent.
Roger, and for your information, your current altitude is 148 nautical miles above the surface.
I'm unable to determine altitude at all looking out the window. I couldn't tell you whether we're down at 60 or up at 170.
I bet you could tell if you were down at 50,000 feet.
I wouldn't be surprised. We're passing some steep ridges here, the edges of old craters that were photographed by Apollo 10, and the crew of Apollo 10 was very impressed with the steepness of these ridges when they came over them at about 50,000 feet.
So, Roger, we can observe they're also steep even from this altitude. You've got quite a shadow being cast by the sun at these low angles.
The entire surface is getting considerably darker than the surface that we looked at previously when the sun was quite high above us. The crater in the bright crater in the center of the screen, the smaller one, is Serena.
Roger, and we show you a little over 1 minute from the terminator at the present time.
How's the brightness of the picture you're receiving? Think we ought to open up the f-stop some as we approach the terminator?
Yeah, the brightness is still doing quite well. You can go ahead and open it up a stop or two. The automatic light level compensation seems to be working beautifully.
That's a good picture of Boot Hill.
Roger.
3 minutes and 15 seconds into the descent.
Roger, we're seeing Boot Hill now.
The next crater coming into the bottom, that's Duke Island right there, and to the left, the crater, the largest of the crater near the center of the picture right now is Maskelyne W. This is a position check during descent at about 3 minutes and 39 seconds, and it's our downrange position check and cross-range position check prior to yawing over face up to acquire the landing radar. Past this point, we would be unable to see the surface below us until getting very near the landing area.
Roger, I imagine you get a real good look at that tomorrow afternoon.
Sinuous Rill is the one that was referred to in Apollo 10 as Sidewinder. Good name, too. Sidewinder Diamondback. Looks like a couple of snakes down there in the lake bed. And we're approaching the terminator now. See the contrast increase, and only the sunlit side of the bridges remain illuminated, while the dark sides in the shadow will become completely black.
11, this is Houston. The picture is getting a little grainy now. You might go ahead and open up the f-stop.
Landing point is just barely into darkness. That one crater, the upper part of which you see, lower part completely in darkness. A small, well-defined crater is bulky, which is about a beam of the landing site.
Roger, we can just see it looks like a little less than half of its rim right now. And we can make out just barely some features on the surface, maybe from Earthshine. Are you wide open on the f-stop at this time?
Wherever they are. Yeah, and it looks like we're just about to get the sun coming into the lens, so we'll have to move the camera away.
Roger.
We can't see any Earthshine or any surface features at all in Earthshine now due to the fact that the limb is very bright and is causing our pupils to contract. It's a very fantastic view to see the terminator as you look along the edge of it. I think you'll agree that some of these craters that you're seeing in the picture now are really accentuated by the lengthening of the shadows as they approach the terminator.
Yes, it's a very beautiful and rugged sight that we've got on the screen now.
And I think you got some interesting data on thruster firings versus pitch angle. It looks like that limb just wants to head down toward the surface is all.
Roger, I have a comment here that says that's what the limb was built for.
I believe. And as the moon sinks slowly in the west, Apollo 11 bids good day to you.
Four zero 0000 107 11 3000. No PDI plus 12. 102 44 2700.
Houston, Apollo 11, over.
Roger, go ahead, 11, over.
Are you picking up our TV signal?
That's affirmative. We have it up on the Ida 4 now. The focus is a little bit out. We see the Earth in the center of the screen. Still have a little white dot in the bottom of the camera, apparently. And see some land masses in the center. At least I guess that's what it is. It's very hazy at this time on our Ida 4, over. Let me change.
I believe that's where we just came from.
It is, well, I'm really looking at a bad screen here. Stand by one. Hey, you're right.
Not bad enough, not finding me on the right landing spot.
Now.
It's not bad enough not finding the right landing spot. We haven't got the right planet.
I'll never live that one down.
We're making it get smaller and smaller here to make sure that it really is the one we're leaving.
Oh, that's enough, you guys. Eleven, that was a good picture
Okay,
there.
that's enough of the moon. Okay, that's enough of the moon, Charlie. We're getting set up now for some inside pictures.
Right.
there's a lot of scientists from a number of countries standing by to see the lunar samples, and we thought you'd be interested in seeing that they really are here. These two boxes are the sample return containers. They're vacuum-packed containers that were closed in a vacuum on the lunar surface, sealed, and then brought inside the LEM and put inside these fiberglass bags, zippered and resealed around the outside, and placed in these receptacles in the side of the command module. These are the two boxes, and as soon as we get onto the ship, I'm sure these boxes will immediately be transferred and delivery started to the lunar receiving laboratory. These boxes include the samples of the various types of rock, the ground mass of the soil, the sand and silt, and the particle collector for the solar wind experiment, and the core tubes that took depth samples of the lunar surface.
Roger, Neil. Thank you much for that description. We've got a pretty dark picture down here. Could you check your f-stop? We'd like you to have it, see if you could open it up a little bit, over.
Okay, our monitor showed that to be very bright. We're down around around F4, which we thought would be plenty light. We'll lighten it up some more.
Well, we'd appreciate it. It's pretty dark on all our monitors here.
Okay, fine.
That's looking a lot better now, Neil. There's Buzz. Houston, we have an excellent picture now, over.
How do you read me, Charlie?
5 by now, Buzz, over.
Okay. More mundane affairs. Now that we've left the moon, I'd like to trace through a little bit for you developments that have taken place in the food department. I'm sure you've always type of a drink container. A little later, Mike will show you how the water gun operates with its new filter to take out hydrogen. Essentially, this water gun is put in this end and filled up this bag with water, and the drink then dissolves in the water, and this end of the outfeeding. Likewise, we have other foods that are more solid nature. You can probably see this shrimp cocktail meal. This afternoon, while the two of us had salmon salad. Another early development was the use of bite-sized food.
11, Houston, Buzz, you're breaking up badly. Would you check your Vox, over?
All right, how am I coming through now, Charlie?
All right, you're very clear when you come through. It's just that your Vox is not keying at every word, over.
Okay. These bite-sized objects were designed to remove the problem of having so many crumbs floating around in the cabin. So they designed a particular size that would be able to go into the mouth all at once. I think since all of our experience, we've discovered that we can progress a good bit further than that back to some of the type meals that we have on Earth. As a matter of fact, on this flight, we've carried along pieces of bread. And along with the bread, we have a ham spread. And I'll show you, I hope, how easy it is to spread some ham. Environment of zero G. We've discovered that it is quite easy to all very familiar with.
Apollo 11, Houston, we notice your roll rate increasing. Would you please see if you can bring that down to about 0 for us, so we'll be losing a high gain shortly, over.
We can also use zero gravity to demonstrate many things we've all learned in school. I'd like to demonstrate briefly how easy it is to explain the action of a gyroscope. If I spin this can, we know that according to the equations of motion, that we would expect that if once this is given a spin and has a spin axis in this direction, if we give it a particular torque, and I'll do this by pushing my hands against it in this fashion once it's spinning, by the equations we can predict that as I put this torque on it, it will in fact rotate this direction. Let's see how well this works out. As I applied the torque this way, it rotated this way. Too close, I think.
Houston, it's a pretty good demonstration.
Houston, this next is a little demonstration for the kids at home, all kids everywhere for that matter. I was going to show you how you drink water out of a spoon, but I'm afraid I filled the spoon too full, and if I'm not careful, I'm going to spill water right over the sides. Can you see the water slopping around in the top of the spoon, kids?
That's affirmative, 11.
Okay, well, as I say, I was going to show you, but I'm afraid I filled it too full, and it's going to spill over the side. I tell you what, I'll just turn this one over and get rid of the water and start all over again, okay?
Okay.
And you can see up here we don't know where over is. One up is as good as another. That really is water, though, I'll show you. That's really not the way we drink. We really have a water gun, which I'll show you. There's the water gun. This cylindrical thing on the end of it is a filter with several membranes. One allows water to pass, but not any gas. The other allows gas to pass, but not any water. So by routing
the gaseous water which comes from our tanks through this filter, we're enabled to drink purified water without the gas in it, filtered water. And of course, all we do to get it started is just pull the trigger. Sort of messy. I haven't been at this very long. It's sort of the same system that the Spaniards used to drink out of wineskins at bullfights. Only I think this is even more fun. Well, be seeing you, kids. Thank you from all the kids in the world here in the Moker who can't tell the Earth from the moon. All right, just stand by one and we'll get you that earthquake. Looks like you need a wineskin up there, Mike. That'd be nice. Okay, K11, Houston, I have a picture now, Houston. That's affirmative. I refuse to bite on this one, though. You tell us. Okay, this should be getting larger, and if it is, it's the place we're coming home to. Roger. No matter where you travel, it's always nice to get home. We concur, 11. We'd be happy to have you back. Good evening. This is the commander of Apollo 11. 100 years ago, Jules Verne wrote a book about a voyage to the moon. His spaceship, Columbia, took off from Florida and landed in the Pacific Ocean after completing a trip to the moon. Seems appropriate to us to share with you some of the reflections of the crew as the modern-day Columbia completes its rendezvous with the planet Earth in the same Pacific Ocean tomorrow. First, Mike Collins. Roger, this trip of ours to the moon may have looked to you simple or easy. I'd like to assure you that that has not been the case. The Saturn V rocket, which put us into orbit, is an incredibly complicated piece of machinery, every piece of which works flawlessly. This computer up above my head has a 38,000 word vocabulary,
each word of which has been very carefully chosen to be of the utmost value to us, the crew. This switch, which I have in my hand now, has over 300 counterparts in the command module alone, this one single switch design. In addition to that, there are myriad of circuit breakers, levers, rods, and other associated controls. The SPS engine, our large rocket engine, on the aft end of our service module, must have performed flawlessly or we would have been stranded in lunar orbit. The parachutes up above my head must work perfectly tomorrow or we will plummet into the ocean. We have always had confidence that all this equipment will work and work properly, and we continue to have confidence that it will do so for the remainder of the flight. All this is possible only through the blood, sweat, and tears of a number of people. The American workmen who put these pieces of machinery together at the factory. Second, the painstaking work done by the various test teams during the assembly and the retest after assembly. And finally, the people at the Manned Spacecraft Center, both in management, in mission planning, in flight control, and last but not least, in crew training. This operation is somewhat like the periscope of a submarine. All you see is the three of us, but beneath the surface are thousands and thousands of others. And to all those, I would like to say thank you very much.
This is Houston. We're getting a good picture of buzz now, but no voice modulation. And would you open up the f-stop on the TV camera? Try 822, please. That appears to be a lot better now. We're still not receiving buzz's audio.
Good evening. I'd like to discuss with you a few of the more symbolic aspects of the flight of our mission Apollo 11. As we've been discussing the events that have taken place in the past 2 or 3 days here on board our spacecraft, we've come to the conclusion that this has been far more than 3 men on a voyage to the moon. More still than the efforts of a government and industry team. More even than the efforts of one nation. We feel that this stands as a symbol of the insatiable curiosity of all mankind to explore the unknown. Neil's statement the other day upon first setting foot on the surface of the moon, this is a small step for a man, but a great leap for mankind, I believe sums up these feelings very nicely. We accepted the challenge of going to the moon. The acceptance of this challenge was inevitable. The relative ease with which we carried out our mission, I believe, is a tribute to the timeliness of that acceptance. Today, I feel we're fully capable of accepting expanded roles in the exploration of space. In retrospect, we have all been particularly pleased with the call signs that we very laboriously chose for our spacecraft, Columbia and Eagle. We've been particularly pleased with the emblem of our flight, depicting the U.S. Eagle, bringing the universal symbol of peace from the Earth, from the planet Earth, to the moon, that symbol being the olive branch. It was our overall crew choice to deposit a replica of this symbol on the moon. Personally, and reflecting the events of the past several days, a verse from the Psalms comes to mind to me. When I consider the heavens, the work of thy fingers, the moon and the stars which thou hast ordained, what is man that thou art mindful of him. The responsibility for this flight lies first with history, and with the giants of science who have preceded this effort. Next to the American people, who have, through their will, indicated their desire. Next to 4 administrations and their Congresses for implementing that will. And then to the agency and industry teams that built our spacecraft. The Saturn, the Columbia, the Eagle, and the little EMU, the spacesuit and backpack that was our small spacecraft out on the lunar surface. We'd like to give a special thanks to all those Americans who built those spacecraft, who did the construction, design, the test, and put their heart and all their abilities in.
Houston, the tunnel looks pretty clear to us. Somebody going up there now. Over.
Mike's checking his connectors up there now.
Roger. Houston, the lighting up in there looks very good to us at this time. Over.
I think that's mostly the camera. It's subdued, to say the least.
Roger, it's gathering pretty well to us. We see everything quite clearly up in there.
No, the dock latches look good today, just like they did yesterday. Everything up in there looks just fine.
That sounds fine to us. Over. Houston, we can even read the decals up there on the limb hatch.
Well, let me zoom it up and see how much you can read.
Okay. We can see the limb umbilical connection quite well there, Buzz. You see you zooming in on one of the decals now that to reset, unlatch handle, latch behind grip, and pull back 2 full strokes. That's about all we can make out.
Hey, you get an A+.
Thank you very much, sir. At least I passed my eye test.
I'm standing at 6 feet from it, Charlie, and you can read it better than I can. There's something wrong with the system.
Right. real good view of the limb hatch handle there. 11, over.
Roger. Looks like we'll be ready to go into the limb early, if that's okay with y'all down there.
Roger, it's fine with us, Neil. Go ahead anytime you wish, over. 11, Houston, the white spot you see on your monitor, our TV people say it is a burn spot, but they expect it to dissipate after a couple hours, over.
Roger, thank you. Okay, the dump valve is actuated.
Roger, copy, 11. We see that very clearly. Is that you, Buzz, with your hand on it?
Yeah.
Houston, we're really amazed at the quality of the picture up in the tunnel. It's really superb, over.
It is, considering the amount of light up in there.
Roger, we're about to open the hatch now.
Right.
There's that same guy that when you open up the door, why, he's waiting there for you and he turns the lights on.
How about that? It's like the refrigerator. Buzz, the view in through by your left shoulder there is good. We can see the acid engine cover, the Velcro on it, and that's about all we can make out right now. We see the helmet stowage.
We don't see anything loose up there.
Well, great. Looks good to us. We see your helmet stowage bag. And 11 Houston, we got a view of the Pliss there off the right of our screen. 11 Houston, Buzz, you already in? Over.
I jumped halfway in. I'm going to have to start turning around, I guess.
Right. Apollo 11 Houston, we'd like you to read out the LCG reservoir site level, over.
Okay, stand by.
At 11, we have a good view of the window there. Looks like the sun is apparently coming through the shade.
Yeah, I'm afraid it's we're just about above toward the sun.
That's affirmative. This attitude puts both windows right towards the sun for the limb, over.
Well, that may be good summary, but
We had a view, Buzz, of the utility light cord. Sure, you've,
now let me show you a view looking the other way.
right. And we see right now a utility light or either a floodlight up there. I think now I see the utility light still in the storage bay. Hey, that's a great shot right there. We see you in there. Guess that's Neil and Mike. Better be, anyway. We see you waving. Houston, that's really a beautiful shot. Houston, we didn't quite decipher that signal. It just came from the CMP.
Just very low. On the LCG site gauge, you got about, it looks like the white mark that's in the plunger is about quarter to 3/8 inch out into the green away from the red. Is that what you'd like to see, or?
Stand by. Right, Buzz, that looks good to us. Thank you much.
It is the white index, is it not, that you're interested in comparing whether it's in the red or green?
Stand by. That's affirmative, Buzz. It looks good. That's a good reading for us, over.
Okay.
We had a shot a moment ago of the suit disconnect valve.
I'll open up the windows and see what the lighting conditions are going to be like.
Houston, that's a real good view. We have the AOT. You're back now, Buzz, and notice you're taking down one of the window shades, over. light is superb.
Yeah, how's the sun coming in? How's the sun coming in from this direction going to affect what you can see?
It made it really super. The lighting is excellent in the limb right now. We can make out the AOT, the ISA, and the left-hand window is a little glare off of that, but the LMP side, with the shade down, it's really excellent. Over.
Well, I'm turned around. I took the shade off my side first.
Roger, we copy. The light level for the TV is really excellent. Over.
Yeah, the lighting in the lamp is very nice. I'm just like completely daylit and everything is just a good bit lighter than the tunnel was earlier.
Roger, we had a good view now, Neil, of the DETA and also Buzz at ACA.
Hey, I'm pointed at the front hatch now. Everything seems to be in place down there.
Roger, we got the dump valves in view. Over. 11, Houston, we see you removing the ISA now, pulling it up, putting it up by the AOT. The instrument panels are coming into view behind.
Yeah, I think probably the testing we've done necessary for to put it back over the instrument panel instead of putting it up over the splits in the recharge station. Would you care to comment on that one? We could do either just as easily.
Stand by. We'll have an answer for you momentarily. 11, Houston, it's really a super shot of the main display.
The vehicle is surprisingly free of any debris floating around. It's very clean.
Roger. Houston, it's pretty hard to describe this view. It's really, really great.
Now you know how we feel. Okay, Neil's OPS is about 57, 5800.
Copy.
And mine's about 5800 also.
Copy. Houston, that's a good shot of Neil's cliff there. Over.
No, that's mine.
11, Houston, that moment ago we had a good shot of your bliss bus and the two helmet storage bags.